So Luka Doncic trying to do something that has never been done before, help his team come back from down 3-0. If they want to force a game 6 here, Julius, where does it need to start?
Well, you know, the guys like Derrick Jones Jr., P.J. Washington,
the others,
maybe Tim Hardaway, those guys have to make shots and defend on the other end. But if it's going to a game 6, it starts with Luka and it starts with Kyrie. It's not just Luka, not just Kyrie. Both of those guys have to play well and they have to play at an extremely high level. They have to be the best players on the court for them to force a game 6. If it goes to game 6, then, you know, they have a little bit more hope. But it starts with those guys. Yep. Those guys are going to give everybody else confidence.
This is the Celtics' points in each game. 107, 105, 106, 84. That's not a lot of points. Dallas's defense, we pick on Luka, but overall their defense has been good. The problem is on the other end, look what Dallas is scoring. 89, 98, 99, 122. What changed? I was talking to Nico Harrison, their GM of the Mavericks, did a great job this year. And I said, did you tell the group to push the ball? And he said, yeah, Jason was telling them. Now, that's not Luka's forte so much, but when they did push the ball.
It could be Kyrie's forte.
Well, it worked for him is the bottom line. They got out transition. This Celtics defense, top 2 in the NBA defensive efficiency and offensive efficiency. Dallas doing a good job on the defensive end, but offensively, they can't win the game if they don't get 100 points tonight. They got to find a way to get it done. And if they do, and it's close, Luka's that good. But at this point, if they keep walking it up, I'm not optimistic about the Mavericks.
Absolutely. And one thing that Luka does is he's a great outlet passer. So why it might not be his forte to dribble the ball up and push the pace that way, guys like I said, PJ, the Derrick Jones, they got to get out on the open court and get some easy baskets in transition.
Plus that, just to check this, Julius, if Kyrie does that, and we know he can, Luka off the ball still poses some problems and may give the Celtics some trouble early on with different looks. Is that possible too?
Absolutely, because you just got to keep the game close on the road. If it slows down in the fourth quarter, that's when you put the ball in Luka's hands and he takes you home. But
This is a road game in the NBA Finals.
Right.
I don't want to hear anything about any role players. I understand they're important, you need them, but damn it, this is about Luka Doncic and this is about Kyrie Irving. It starts with Kyrie because of how he has struggled in Boston. You got to overcome those doldrums.
Right.
But when he is, assuming he does overcome it because he is great enough to do it, right? If he's overcome it, then Luka can't be what he was in Game 3. A guy that's ball hogging, a guy that's not recognizing to feed Kyrie the ball in rhythm. Let him dictate pace and feed off of him. And here's the other key. You want to give me a role player? How about Derek Lively? If Porzingis doesn't play, Al Horford 38. Okay, if he does play, Porzingis is injured. You run that young brother up and down the court all night long.
Absolutely.
And make them work. That's the key to victory for the Dallas Mavericks.
You know what's interesting? We talk about this 3-0 lead, now 3-1. Right. What makes this a little different is the Celtics are missing a starter.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to win a championship missing a key starter in Porzingis?
We have 5 of them.
That's right. Well, they got a lot of guys. but even that, Julius, it gives me hope. If Celtics are whole, this thing may be over already. If Porzingis was playing all 4 games, it may be done. But the fact they're missing a big starter makes me believe Dallas can stay in this series.
They got a double-double from Derek Lively in those games back in Dallas. They had P.J. Washington show up, but it does start from the top down with these Dallas Mavericks team because we've talked about it. They need to be near perfect, the Dallas Mavericks do, in order to beat an incredibly talented Boston Celtics team where Jaylen Brown has really been leading the way, Stephen A.
Well, no question, but he's been leading all season long. From the moment they traded away Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown took it upon himself to be that vocal leader. He was always a star, averaging more than 25 a game, but he stepped up and said, yo, I got to be a vocal leader too.
Welcome back. Luka Doncic, he really did it all in Game 4, and that showed up on both ends of the floor. He put up a Mavericks Finals record, 25 points in the first half, and that was keyed by his defense. Luka held the Celtics to 2 of 9 shooting while also forcing 4 critical turnovers to set up transition opportunities. Remember, only 3 teams before have ever forced a Game 6. Here come the Boston Celtics, the Dallas Mavericks, trying to make sure that this one ends tonight if you are Boston. But Stephen A., I turn to you on this. How can the Mavericks force a Game 6?
First of all, Kyrie Irving has to have a big game. He's been struggling, averaging 14 points and 35% shooting in the first 2 games in Boston. He's got to do significantly better. He's got to replicate his performances in games 3 and 4 in Dallas. That's number 1. Number 2, Luka can be effective and what have you. He can't slow the pace. You got to push the ball up the basketball court. You got to give it to Kyrie Irving to do that. That's more. Don't go out of rhythm. Don't get Kyrie off his rhythm. He's in his bag. Feel it. Know it. Give him the damn ball. You're skilled enough to work around that and do what you do. And last but not least, Derek Lively has to run up and down that basketball court. Porzingis is not healthy, even if he does end up playing. Al Horford is older. You got a young lion and Derek Lively, who's averaged a double-double over these 2 games. Keep running. Make them run. And wear him down.
We should say, since you brought up Porzingis, that Joe Mazzulla did say before this game that he expects to see Porzingis in this one, and this isn't like Game 4 where it's just a situational opportunity for Porzingis. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he has to say that, obviously. But, I mean, Dallas needs a lot for them to win this game. They need a lot for them to go right. Porzingis not being fully healthy obviously works for them. They need guys like Derrick Jones Jr., Lively, P.J. Washington. They need those guys to make shots. But if Dallas is going to win this game, Luka and Kyrie both have to be great. Kyrie's been on this stage before. He's done it, being down 3-1, going on the road, giving, Golden State, sorry, Bob, giving you guys 40 on the road. So he's been here. Luka's built for this moment. So those guys had to be special tonight if they're going to win.
And what do you remember about that 40, Bob?
Well, yeah,
kidding.
I thought we were talking about the Mavs and the Celtics. I didn't know. Wilbon, what are we doing? Is this like a history? I know what happened.
I'm sorry, I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
Look at this. Who's got one of the? I didn't play, but I got a few of those. Listen, I think for the Mavs to win this game, a couple things. Talked to Nico Harrison before the game. They got to push the tempo. That's not what Luka wants to do. He can't fall back into walking it up. Celtics defense is too good. Top 2 in the league, defensive efficiency. And the Dallas Mavericks, I know Wilbon and you and Stephen A. don't love, they got to get some threes up. Last game, they got 37 up. Make or miss, they got to get them up. They had 27, 26, 25 in the first 3 games. And then in the paint, they outscored the Celtics 60-26. So that's an energy, that's an intention.
Is that a Porzingis thing, though? Because when Porzingis isn't there as a stopper,
but
then they can attack.
I mean, I don't know. We can all go through if we think he's playing or not. My vote would be I don't think he's playing.
I don't think he's playing.
So the blueprint for Dallas, we saw it in Game 4.
Listen, all of this I agree with, but I think there's something that's going to be bigger than strategic matters, bigger than X's and O's. And I agree with the pace issue, and that is Luka's demeanor. Is he going to leave the 3 people in striped shirts alone?
No.
Is he going to concentrate like we saw him do in Game 4? All right? I don't want to see Luka in the whining meme position after every possession.
Wilbon says
listen, if he can be, Luka was like a 7.5 the other night defensively. If he's a 6 tonight and he stays away from complaining and whining and gives it what he did in Game 4, Dallas can win.
I think you're being overly emotional, dare I say. I think you're worried about. Let me tell you why. I think Luka, that Luka that you're worried about, shows up if they're getting their butt whipped. If they're in this game or if they got a lead, I don't think he does it.
Okay.
But naturally, if they lose it and Boston's running away with it, and he knows he's on the verge of losing the championship, then he's petulant.
Just a few moments ago, it was so loud in TD Garden that our seats were vibrating. It's because Kristaps Porzingis took the floor to raucous applause. Joe Mazzulla said that he expects to see Porzingis tonight. He has progressed past the being not quite ready stage that he was in Game 4. So it's time now for Pick and Roll, brought to you by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. Gentlemen, you are all rolling with the Boston Celtics, except for Michael Wilbon.
You changed that, Wilbon?
Who is saying, you know what? I think Wilbon in his vest thinks we are going back to Dallas.
Malika Wilbon tonight. Put me in there.
Julius Randle, you can step up your game during the playoffs of ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN.
You got your picture back.
That's a good-looking brother right there. I'm not talking about myself, but that's a good-looking brother right there.
The latest odds, boosts, featured parlays, and exclusive offers from our guy Stephen A. Pictured there, Kid Perk, and more. So, Julius, since you said that you were hopping on the Wilbon bandwagon here, how surprising would it be? You're from Dallas to see us back there for a Game 6.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. In today's NBA, with how teams score the ball, Dallas just has to keep it close. If they can keep it close, I think they can win the game.
Every single logical indicator says the Celtics will win tonight. Every single logical indicator. But I'm playing a hunch. All right, and I'm going to go with Luka doing what Stephen A. said. That step toward maturity that we saw in Game 4, that I've been one of those people questioning. I know that the Celtics could blow. I could regret this pick in 3 minutes, but I'm not. I need Julius to ride with me.
We're
I
going
like
down
this.
together.
Here we go.
Well, guess what? I'm a Spark fan. My logic is undeniable. Logic says conventional wisdom. Logic says conventional wisdom. You go with the Boston Celtics. Listen, I hope I'm wrong because I want a longer series. I really do.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for the Boston Celtics to lose this game tonight if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are what we think they are.
Okay, so before I get over the Spock thing, because I'm still processing the Star Trek thing, but it just takes me a minute. How surprising would it be? I watched a Game 5 with Draymond Green from a baseball stadium in the NBA Finals, so I'm not surprised at whatever happens, Wilbon. I have no idea. My predictions are not usually very good. I've been following Stephen A. way too much.
I've been following you.
I did it again.
I've been following you.
Look, Dallas, maybe they've got the blueprint. I would not be shocked if it goes back to Dallas.
All right.
Is that an answer?
We're all hedging.
Who you picking?
I picked the Celtics.
That was a
I
hedge.
picked the Celtics.
You gotta choose
They
a
put it on the
side.
screen.